welcome to vlog number 1. Is actually going to be a tag vlog. I thought that this would be a nice way of easing myself into vlogging, but it would also be a nice way for people out there who perhaps don't know me personally to get to know me just a little better. And yep, as you can tell, I am not actually at home at the moment. I am actually in Cardiff, home of Doctor Who, and just by absolute sheer coincidence, as you can see behind me, I've just turned the sound down, there is Doctor Who on the TV, and it also happens to be one of my favourite storylines. That means I am going to be doing the Doctor Who tag. Question number 1 is, who is your favourite Doctor? My favourite Doctor is Jon Pertwee, the 3rd Doctor. Patrick Troughton, the 2nd Doctor, comes in a very close second, but I absolutely love the Jon Pertwee era of Doctor Who. If I was to have to choose a new Who Doctor, it was originally Christopher Eccleston, but now I would definitely have to say Peter Capaldi. But as far as my absolute favourite Doctor goes, Jon Pertwee, the 3rd Doctor. Question number 2. What is your favourite Doctor Who story? My favourite Doctor Who story, again, is a Jon Pertwee 3rd Doctor story called Doctor Who and the Silurians. I absolutely love this story. It's got my 3 favourite Doctor Who characters in it: 3rd Doctor, Brigadier and Liz Shaw, who unfortunately wasn't in anywhere near enough episodes. She was an amazing companion. So yeah, my favourite storyline is definitely Doctor Who and the Silurians. I've lost count of how many times I've watched that DVD. On to question number 3. Who is your favourite Doctor Who companion? My favourite Doctor Who companion of all time is Brigadier Lethbridge Stewart. I just think the Brigadier is such an iconic character in Doctor Who. He is as iconic as the Doctor, I think, in terms of the fact that he was the longest serving companion in Doctor Who. I also really like Captain Jack Harkness. I'm a big John Barrowman fan, but as far as my all-time favourite companion, it's got to be the Brigadier. So, question number 4. The first Doctor Who story you ever watched. So I'm going to turn the TV off now. This one's quite hard because although I got into Doctor Who properly through the new series with Christopher Eccleston, I did used to watch some of the Tom Baker reruns. So in terms of what was my actual very first episode, I can't really remember, although I do definitely remember that I saw the Ark in Space, although I doubt that was my first ever episode. So I'm going to answer this question in terms of New Who and the Christopher Eccleston 9th Doctor series, and my first ever Doctor Who episode was Dalek, although I didn't actually become properly hooked on Doctor Who until The Empty Child. Dalek was my very first proper Doctor Who episode. Okay, so question number 5, which is, let's have a look, favourite series or era of Doctor Who. This question is actually quite hard because I'm very much a classic Who fan. Although they were split up into series, they were more split up into storylines. I've already touched upon the fact that Doctor Who and the Silurians is my favourite storyline. I also like Inferno, pretty much anything with 3rd Doctor, Brigadier and either Liz Shaw or Jo. Inferno, I think, comes a very close second to Doctor Who and the Silurians. In terms of New Who, this is probably easier to answer, and it would definitely either have to be the first series with Christopher Eccleston or Peter Capaldi. Christopher Eccleston and Peter Capaldi are my favourite two New Who Doctors. Question number 6. Favourite pre or post regeneration story? I suppose because it's got my favourite combination of characters, I would have to say that one of my favourites is Planet of the Spiders, but in terms of, I suppose, my absolute favourite, it would have to be a New Who episode, and that is The Parting of the Ways. I think because Christopher Eccleston was my first proper Doctor, and it was all just so sad with Jack being left behind on the space station and Rose being sent back to Earth, and then coming back and saving Jack's life, and then the Doctor regenerating anyway. And I think it was the first time as a Doctor Who fan that I'd had that experience of knowing that my Doctor was leaving and somebody else was going to be coming in to replace him. So I think in terms of that, I found that episode very emotional and quite gripping as well, because there was a moment there where I thought they were going to kill Jack off permanently, and as I've already said, he is one of my favourite companions. So I'd have to say very definitely The Parting of the Ways. Question number 7. Your favourite Doctor Who villain? Now, this is quite easy actually, because my favourite Doctor Who villain would definitely have to be a Dalek. I think, again, Daleks are just so iconic, although I also find the Weeping Angels really scary. So Weeping Angels come in a very close second. Which leads us into the final question, which was originally, what is your favourite Doctor Who desktop wallpaper? Now, because I've never seen any of the Doctor Who desktop wallpapers, I decided to replace this with a question that I saw in another version of the Doctor Who tag, which is, what is your favourite Doctor Who quote? Now, again, my favourite Doctor Who quote comes from a third Doctor story, which is Planet of the Daleks, and I just absolutely love this quote. And it is, I think it goes something like, courage isn't about being unafraid, it's about being afraid and doing what you have to do anyway. Let's face it, who doesn't ever feel fear? So if courage was all about not being frightened at all, then I think there wouldn't be a single person in the whole entire world that could be said to be courageous. It's just such a beautiful quote, and it's so poignant that that has to be my favourite Doctor Who quote. So yeah, that's the Doctor Who tag from my hotel room in Cardiff. I thought it was a nice way to start my Cardiff trip. Tomorrow I'm off to the Doctor Who experience, so I might, when I come back, decide to do a little bit of vlogging about that and anything else that I decide to do throughout the day. I might also do a hotel room tour as well whilst I'm here. Yeah, and also bearing in mind that by the time you see these, I will be back home, because I haven't got any way of editing these vlogs and uploading them whilst I'm away. So I'm going to be doing all my filming here in Cardiff and then editing them and posting them when I get back home. I'll try and throw a few more things in and let you know what I'm doing, and that's it for now. Thank you for watching. Okay, so starting from the door, this is the view of my room as I walk in. I'm just going to switch the light on in the bathroom. Yep, so we see a toilet, sink, shower, quite a small bathroom, but a really quite nice bathroom, I think. Okay, so got the bed. As I say, there's not much to this room. It's a very nice little hotel room. Got a TV screen here, which I've just been watching Doctor Who on. Quite a nice surprise to get here in Cardiff and then find that Doctor Who was on the TV. I've got my desk, just charging my phone here. Sorry, camera's a bit unfocused. and I found quite a nice little alcove next to the bed, which I've just put my bottle of water on there so I can find it in the night if I need it, although it did have this thing here on it when I first got here. Okay, which I've just taken out whilst we've got a menu there, which I'm going to look at later and decide what I'm going to order for my dinner. And then we have the view, which, yeah, as you can see, the hotel itself is in it's near the Red Dragon Centre, so I think that's the Red Dragon Centre over there, and just a car park. Although when I arrived, there was a seagull sitting just there, staring in the window at me. A couple of seagulls there. So yeah, creepy seagull. Okay, that is the room tour. It's taken approximately 2 minutes to show you my room because it's just your bog standard hotel room at the end of the day, and my hands are really shaking because I'm having to hold the camera up. Oh, sorry. So, yep, that is my room tour. Okay, so I've put my glasses back on now. I took them off to do the Doctor Who tag, but I'm just about to go into the bay to have a quick walk round and to pop and get some food to keep in my hotel room. I'm not going to vlog whilst I'm out. I think I'll leave that maybe until I've done a few more vlogs, but I'm not going to be doing much tonight. So let's go! Although I want to sing, I don't want to disturb everybody in the rooms around me. This is probably going to be a very short vlog, I know, because whilst I've been in Cardiff I haven't done a lot of vlogging. I've been far too busy enjoying everything that Cardiff has to offer and too tired by the time I've got back to the hotel room. It's actually my last night in Cardiff tonight. I've been here 5 days tomorrow, and the last time I did a vlog was my first day here. But I just thought, as it's my last night, I would fill you in on some of the things, the wonderful things I've been doing here in Cardiff. It's actually not the first time I've been here. I love Cardiff. It's like a second home to me. Basically, I just wanted to talk to you very briefly about the real reason why I came up here to Cardiff for the week was to check out the open day at the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama. I'm actually applying to drama school to do stage management starting next year, and one of the places that I'm applying to is the Royal Welsh College. There's lots of different drama schools out there that down on paper offer the same type of course, but they all offer very different things in terms of what you study when you get on the course. If you get offered a place and you go, some schools are more vocational, other schools are more academic. It really basically comes down to what teaching methods and what school suits you and your learning type best. And Royal Welsh, I think, was just one of those schools that for me personally really seemed to fit well with what I want to study. So yeah, personally for me it was a really fantastic school. And one thing I would say to people is, if there's a question mark about a school that you're not 100% sure, it's always worth applying anyway and going to the school and speaking to the tutors and getting a tour of the school and the facilities, because sometimes you can have an idea about where you want to go and what you want to do, and then if you don't keep an open mind, you can lose out on potential opportunities that might have actually been better for you if you just explored them. The course that they offer there, you know, for what I'm looking at studying, is just absolutely amazing. But whether you're applying for stage management, acting, music, theatre design, you know, whatever you're applying for, just check out as many schools as you possibly can, and really sort of whilst you're going round, really have a think about, can I see myself studying here for 3 years? Does this school offer me what I'm looking at studying in terms of course content? What is the ratio of practical to academic classroom based work, and how does that really fit in with what I foresee my future with my career being? So yeah, a few of the things I've been getting up to this week. I will post some photographs as well to try and give you guys an idea of what I've been doing, because I am an absolutely appalling vlogger. What can I say? I've just been having such a fantastic time here that I haven't had time to vlog. I've been far too busy just enjoying myself and enjoying the city. And also, to be honest, by the time I've got back to the hotel in the evenings, I've just been too tired to vlog. So I've been working on some of my writing. So on Tuesday I went to the Doctor Who experience in Cardiff Bay, which is where I'm staying. I have been there once before. I came here when I came to Cardiff for the week last summer, but obviously it's changed since then, since Peter Capaldi took over as the Doctor, and I would have to say that it's even better than it was before. They've done an absolutely amazing job revamping the whole experience. Obviously you can't go to the Doctor Who experience without visiting the gift shop afterwards. I think I was quite restrained. I was a very good shopper. I didn't buy too much stuff. I'm not going to show you everything now because, as I say, I'm going home tomorrow, so everything's packed away. But I might decide at some point to perhaps do a Doctor Who experience merchandise haul when I get home, and I might incorporate some of my other Doctor Who merchandise into that as well, depending on how I feel. As I say, yesterday I went into the city centre. I went to the Royal Welsh College of Music and Drama, and I was there for most of the day, and then I did a little bit of shopping. As somebody who's really into vintage fashion, I'd heard of this really quite nice little vintage shop in Cardiff called Hobo's, which I'd never been to before, but I decided that this time I came I was going to try and find it and check it out. And it's such a lovely place. I mean, it's quite a small place in comparison to some of the other vintage shops I've been to, and they've got some really lovely vintage pieces in there. It was all reasonably priced stuff. I got a couple of scarves at about £5 each, I think they were, so as far as vintage stuff goes, it really wasn't all that expensive at all. Today I've had a much quieter day. I've literally just been for a wander around the bay. I went to get some lunch, and then I spent a couple of hours at the cinema. So yeah, as you can see, today's been a much quieter day, and then tomorrow I go home. Thank you for watching. I will just slot some pictures in for you to see of all the stuff that I've been doing, although this year I haven't taken as many photographs as I have in previous years, but I think it's also because I've been here so often that I've seen and done everything already, so I haven't had to. So I might also be a bit cheeky and post some old photographs in here as well, just so people who are watching who haven't been to Cardiff can see all the amazing things that the city has to offer.